Day 6 at the MSSA National Finals. We are starting our Futurity sheep class, round 2. Their handler's line is the orange ribbon, so it's to the right of the number 2 over there, kind of comes to the 5 and over to our table here. This is Jordan Kilpack and Nike. He comes to us from Homedale, Idaho. Nike is a 2-year-old. $23 on that first panel. That is the tiebreaker. Now he's heading over to number 2, which is over there on the right. And if you're just joining us, they have changed that panel that doesn't have the little V inside of it. It's more open for them to go down. This is his third MSSA. He traveled 400 miles to get here. And he likes the mountains in Afton. All right, this Futurity class is different than some of the other classes. They need to nominate their dog before they've ever trialed. So then once they're nominated, they can go to trials and earn points at whatever level they are working on. Okay, we're heading to number 2. Now he entered and exit number 3, and now they're turning to number 4. Okay, number 4 is not on the fence anymore like it was at the beginning of the week. All right. He's completed number 4. Now he's heading to the pin right in front of us here. And this is Jordan Kilpack and Nike. And our producer doesn't have a list, so, and some of these handlers will be coming out of order, so I'll try to keep up with it. So now he needs to get the gate closed. 2:41 is the official time. Total points 270.
270 and a time of 2:41. And if you guys could please check in with Amber, since our run order is going to be all over the place today, and we'll try to get you guys as good as we can, but kind of is what it is once we get it set.
Next up is Brian Jacobs, and isn't that what you just said? Sorry.
No. Linda Franklin. Up next, we're going to have Linda Franklin and Sunrise Gus.
All right, next dog is Linda Franklin and Sunrise Gus.
Right. Sounds good, right? Okay, you're good.
All right, this is Linda Franklin and Sunrise Gus. So she'll call for her livestock. Her dog is sent. The time starts either when the dog leaves or the last sheep comes out. So they will be watching both things. We need to come through this panel number 1. So she's going to have to turn them around. She comes to us from Sanger, California. She traveled 300 miles to get here. And Sunrise is a male, 2 years, 4-month Border Collie, owned by Kimbler Bitter. And got the tie time. Heading to number 2. She's been to one other MSSA. So she made it kind of interesting because she said she'd never been to Afton. So I did learn that 9 years ago was how long they have been here in Afton, and she came to it before it was at this location. So, because she traveled 625 miles to get here, and she was asked what she liked about Afton, and she said, "Well, I've never been here. Photos look great." What is her favorite thing about the past finals? All right, she's completed number 2 and moving to 3. The great cinnamon rolls Sherry's mom made, and of course, the cattle were awesome compared to the wild ones I used in California. Great martini machine, courtesy of Elliot and Kathy's on their trailer fender. Good camaraderie. Doesn't sound like it's changed much in all those years. Great job. Great sharing. The fondest memory. The time quick stopped 300 stalkers trotting towards the busy highway. Rancher was so happy. Anything else you'd like to mention? Every day I train teaches me something new. My first stock dog was my turnback dog. I could depend on him show up. I was on the ground floor when Steve collected the first membership at a clinic he gave in California. My handler number is 85, and that tells the story. So glad there is horseback class for handlers my age. It was mostly horseback way back in 2007. Lots of laugh. All right, they need to enter and now exit, and the judge is saying the points are completed there. All right, she's turning the stock to number 4. So she's got to get them back tucked in. The stock needs to come towards us on this number 4. These dogs are all young dogs. Again, they nominate them before they've trialed them. Once they've done the nomination, they can trial them. Again, all this is done on sheep and cattle separately, so you choose which livestock you want to nominate your dog. All right, still they need to come towards us. So it's always tricky when you get them this close. The dog's got to do a nice square flank around, which she's done. Now she's got 4 heading to the pen. All right. So that's, she timed out, but she did get number 5.
Gus, that was up before at 2:25 and at 10:05. Up next, we're gonna have Zach Brady and Brady's Rocket, followed by Keely Hyman and BCB.
All right, we're jumping around. So this next dog is number 9 on the list, Zach Brady and Brady's Rocket. Zach Brady and Brady's Rocket. Going to help the producer out as well so they can get the names up for us. They're still walking out of the ring. This is the second round for the finals dogs. We will be out of order because they're running nursery up atop, so a lot of these dogs are also up there. All right. Zach Brady is in the ring with Brady's Rocket. He comes to us from Blackfoot, Idaho. Dogs away. This is a 3-year-old border collie. Now he's done the lift. He's got to get him turned and tucked back in. Now they need to come towards us. That's not the correct direction. So now they've entered. 32 is the tie time. And he's completed number 1. Now he's heading to number 2, which is across from us. Now he's standing basically on the handler line, so he's staying up in this area until they're working on the pen. Then they can move. This is Zach's 4th MSSA finals. He traveled 140 miles to get here. His favorite stock is cattle, and his preferred sex of the dog is female. His favorite thing about Afton is the views, and his favorite past things is enjoying to see the amazing dogs. And his fondest memory, every day I get the chance to work them. All right, he did a nice job getting him through 2, but now he's got to get him down to 3. All right, I was reading, so he just did 2, so I gave you bad information. All right, he's entering number 3. They need to exit to get the points. 5 on 3. He's heading to number 4. He's got that one tucked in. He's got all 5 on number 4. Our next dog that'll be coming into the ring will be Kaylee Hinman and BCB. All right, he's got to tuck this in, get them looking down so they see that exit gate there. Get this sheep turned and in. They're all pinned. Now he needs to open the gate and all sheep out through the gate and then close the gate. If the sheep happen to break out of 5, he would need to reload. "4:12 is the official time. All right, the next dog that's going to come in is Kaylee Hindman and BCB.
We're going to have Katie Hyman and BCB, followed by Blaine Morgan.
All right, entering the ring is Kaylee and BCB. They come to us from Elgin, Oregon. And this is a 2-year-old border collie, and the dog is away. So it started when the dog left, not when the sheep totally exited. So we need to move them to this first panel. "21 is the tiebreaker time. And that tiebreaker is used if it's the exact same score and the same time. They use that to separate the dogs. Now she's heading to number 2. This is her second MSSA finals. She traveled 560 miles to get here. She likes to work sheep and cattle. And the thing she likes about Afton is the family atmosphere. This is a great town. Everybody is just really welcoming. It's great to see the Antler Arch down in town and several restaurants downtown and along the entryway. Great little all-in-one market, farm stores, and grocery stores. I don't know if we have the famous one of the people talked about their favorite thing here is the slushies at the liquor store, and they are quite delightful on the 80-degree day like yesterday. This is Mountain State Stock Dog. You can read on their website. They have their rules, and you can find out where the upcoming events are. Some of the rules that they have is you can never walk through an obstacle, and that would include if they're using a barrel or something like that. Anything that's an obstacle being used, they don't have to have fancy panels. So, but you cannot walk through something that you're going to be pointing on. The other thing is the dogs run without a collar, and you cannot have a training stick. So this is Futurity, and this is something that you nominate the dog for, a young dog, before they trial. So there they entered and exit. So she's completed number 3, heading to 4. So she's getting those sheep turned, and that's the draw back there where they came from. So they know that there's more sheep back there. It's very nice. This year they have books about the competitor's profile and questions that they asked when we were checking in, and information about the dog. So we have a lot available to you to give you more information. So she's trying to get these sheep to be convinced to get off of the draw. I've talked about it being like a magnet, that the sheep are a magnet and the sheep in the back are a magnet, and you just have to get them to let go and head the direction you want. These are young dogs, so that's a lot of pressure on them. And that one sheep is just not being very cooperative for this dog. Um, there you go. She got him lifted off. Get back in there. And this is one of the things is if they overflank, then they'll go back, but got her right back. All right, 4 have gone through. Her dog is back in a good position, and number 5 decided to come, so that's 5 on 4. Now she's heading to her pen here. Okay, they're all in the pen, and now she needs to get up to the gate and open the gate. And she chose to go around because of the position of the sheep. And she's out of time, but she does get the pin points. Our next dog is Blaine Morgan and Finn. Blaine Morgan and Finn.
All right, up next we have Blaine, Morgan, and Finn.
All right, coming into the ring is Blaine Morgan and Finn. Blaine Morgan comes to us from Oral, South Dakota. Finn is a 2-year-old border collie. This is Morgan's 4th year being at MSSA. He has traveled 600 miles to get here. His favorite stock is cattle. He's now called for his stock. Dogs on the way. They started for the sheep when they exited. It was when the time started. Out and around, and now he's heading for number 1. .23 on the tie time. Completed the first panel, heading to number 2. Thing he likes about Afton is the great people. The best thing about finals is placing 5th on 2 dogs. And what is his fondest memory of working his dog? Just seeing how smart they are. And anything else he would like to say is just loves training his dogs. Okay, this is kind of a dance down here. The handler's behind the sheep, letting the dog hold the side, and now they have pointed on 2. They're heading to number 3. It's got nice control, got all the noses pointing in the directions, getting him turned into number 3 there. There we go. Keep him moving down there. The dog doesn't want him to run, so he's just slowing him down. So they've entered. They haven't quite exited. Now he's pointed on number 3, heading to 4. So now he's got him turned on the correct side. Now we have to get him turned back. Okay, the next dog that's going to be coming in is Nathan Myers and 27 Clyde. All right, 2 went around, but he's turned and gone back, so he's back to 0. All right, he's got number 4. And heading to this pen. Oh no, they're saying we're not getting breakfast today. I didn't eat breakfast. They're saying that's a bad rumor. All right, so he's got him in the pen. So now he's going to come down here, open the gate. They need to come out of that gate only, and time stops when he closes the gate. 3:30 is the official time. All right, the next dog is Nathan Myers and 27 Clyde. All right, next in is number 10, Nathan Myers and 27 Clyde. They come to us. I guess they're not quite in the ring. Wait a second. Here he comes. Colville, Utah. This is a 2-year-old Border Collie. And again, this class, you nominate your dog before they've ever trialed. So these are all young dogs. Nathan says he's been to every MSSA finals. He traveled 162 miles to get here. Dog's on the way. Okay, he was trying to get the dog to get out a little wider. He's saying, come by. That's a clockwise command around the sheep. If you think about them as the center, and now he's saying away. That's a counterclockwise. Come is the clockwise flank. 26 is the tiebreaker time. Now we're heading over to number 2, which has created a lot of problems. So what he likes about Afton is the cool temperatures. What his favorite thing from past finals is winning the National Nursery Cattle title with my dog Vinny. Fondest memories, spending time traveling and trialing with my family and friends. And other things he'd like to mention. All right, he finished number 2, so he's heading to number 3. I am excited to have 2 nursery and futurity age dogs to show this year and that I have bred and raised and trained. That's exciting. All right. You got to get him pushed going down there. So this is a draw at both ends. So then once they feel the draw from that other end, they pull a little harder. Thank you. All right, the next dog that'll be coming in is James Butler and HR Queen. And this is Nathan and 27 Clyde. All right, so he's taking the away flank to get number 3. And I mean number 4, sorry. He already got 3. He is heading to the pen. He's got 5 on the pen. Time doesn't stop till he closes this gate. 3:40 is the time with full points. Next dog up is James Butler and HR Queen.
Full score of 270 and a time of 3:40. Up next, we got James Butler and HR Queen. And then it's going to be Nina Clark and NC Cracker. And don't forget, you guys, to come check in with Amber. She's running the list of who goes up next.
Dog in the ring is James Butler and HR Queen. All right. He comes to us from Center, Texas. And this is a 2-year-old border collie that he does own. He's come to 5 past MSSA finals. He's traveled 1,900 miles. What he likes about Afton is the weather. And what he likes about past, it's 15 on the number 1, heading to number 2. All right, this is James Butler and HR Queen that is in the ring. The next dog that's going to come in is Nina Clark and NC Cracker. He's working on the second panel here. So 3 have gone in and 2 have gone around. So they have mixed. If he wants full points, he needs to re-enter all of them down at this end. Okay, so he's resetting it up. Number? Thank you. Okay, he's coming over and helping a little to get things settled. He's going to come in behind and let his dog hold the side. And there they've entered. And now they've exited and gets 5 points. It's actually 45 points in each section. The dog just got a warning. We don't want them. Okay, now he's heading to number 3. A little bit tight on his flanks. He's entered. He's exited. Now we're going to number.
Thank you. Wait, now look. You'd exhausted. You'd exhausted.
All right, that was a thank you. All right, dog in the ring. Coming in is Nina Clark and NC Cracker.
Next, we got Nina Clark and NC Cracker. Then it's going to be Chandler Lomax and Desert Max. And then Amy Nelson and /J Henry.
Okay, she's calling for her sheep. She comes to us from Cisco, Texas. This is a 2-year-old Border Collie. She's heading to that number 1 panel. We take our tie time when they come through this. 18. Completed number 1, heading to number 2. This is her second attendance to the MSSA finals. Her favorite stock is cattle. The miles she traveled here is 1,274. Her favorite thing about Afton is enjoying the great outdoors. Her favorite things from past is seeing them happy to do their job. And an additional thing she'd like to mention is last year's champion in novice class and reserve champion in the Futurity. This panel has showed some real challenges. So the dog in the ring right now is Nina Clark and NC Cracker. And the dog that will follow is Chandler Lomax and Desert Max. All right, we've completed number 2. And we're on to number 3. So this is the Futurity class at the MSSA finals. This is the second go around. To participate in this class, it is a dog that has never trialed before, so it is entered and exited. It's completed number 3. Now we're on to 4. Once they are nominated, then they can trial the dog and compete at their level of the handler. So MSSA is a little different than some programs. They base, they have 3 levels or 3 levels that are for the level of the handler. So the first level is novice. So we just had novice dogs this morning. No experience on the handler, but they could trial experienced dogs or dogs that they have trained themselves. And the second level is intermediate. If they have won or competed a lot in other venues, they could one novice, and they then move to intermediate. And once they feel that it's time, like you've won at intermediate level, she's completed number 4, then they move you to open. Once you're in open, that is the top level, and any dog you bring forward, you would always be in open. Then they also have this Futurity class, which you nominate a dog before they trial, and they have the nursery class, which is based on age. They'd be under 3 years of age, but they actually give you a date that they need to be born by, and so some are younger and older in that nursery class. And then we also have 2 that are age of the handlers, and that would be the junior class and the old timers. .444 is the official time with full points of 270. Nicely done. Next dog that we'll have is Chandler Lomax and Desert Max. They're still repinning this dog. All right, please take advantage of some of our sponsors: Nutrena, Afton Tourism, Country Vet Natural Pet Foods. All right, coming into the ring is Chandler Lomax and Desert Max. This is, he comes to us from Rocky Face, Georgia. And this is a 2-year-old Border Collie. All right, that's the outrun. Now the lift and the fetch to the first panel, and then we'll get the tie time. And they went by. So he needs to turn them back. Okay, so he's getting them turned around to get that panel number 1. He's going to turn them around. He's using keep as his clockwise flank. He's also using come by. Come by is clockwise around the stock. Those are that's the traditional. Away to me is the counterclockwise. You want to think of the sheep as the center of the clock. There we go. He's got all 5. 1, 2, 7 is his tie time. And what that means, if their score and their time are the same, they use that as the tiebreaker on that first panel. So we have a ton of great workers here. We're all wearing the same color shirts that are showing us as the staff, so people can always ask us questions. All right, we've entered, and now we have exited. So they've gotten the points on 2. And the instinct of these dogs is to fetch, so he's brought the stock back to his owner, and so now he's going to start the drive to take him down to number 3. And that just means now the dog needs to be out in front of him. Taking the livestock away from him is a drive. It's warming up this morning. They were threatening us with a little sprinkles, but the judge brought his rain gear, so it stayed away. Needs to tuck them in. All right, they're entered number 3. They've pointed on number 3. Nicely done. Just a baby dog. Got a little split there. So again, they got fetched back when the dog's confused. That is their default. Nicely done. He's getting the dog settled, driving him back down there. Nice working dog. Lots of different styles of Border Collies here. This is smooth coated. They're known for their eye. That's what they were bred for. And he's got number 4 done, heading to number 5. So he needs to put him in this pen. He's got him stopped and lined up looking at the pen nicely. Dog bringing him back to him kind of ate up some of his time, but he's had nice control of these livestock. So he needs to exit them. And so he has his pinpoints. He needs to close the gate before the buzzer. .456 is the official time. They bumped the timer somehow and got the buzzer. So he got all his points. The next dog that's going to come into the ring is Amy Nelson and / J Henry. So they always have a backup if something goes wrong with the timer. They've got 2 stopwatches actually going. So total equipment that's running is 3 stopwatches at any time. All right. Amy Nelson is in the ring with /J Henry. They come to us from Mount Grove, Missouri. Henry is a 2-year-old border collie, and he's out and away. She kicked him out on the outrun there. This is her second MSSA finals. She's heading to the fetch panels. 14 to the fetch panels. Nice time. Heading to number 2. Her favorite stock to work are cattle and sheep. She drove 1,317 miles to get here. She likes everything about finals and Afton. Our next dog that will be coming in the ring is number 29, Jeannie Biggers and /JB Bird. So everybody's had all week. The number 2 obstacle has been a challenge on the handlers and the dogs. If you've been watching on other days, like yesterday, this panel did have a kind of V in it inside of it that made it look like it didn't have an opening, and they've now made that almost flat to the wall. So there she goes. She's got them entered. The points don't happen until they exit, so now it is pointed. So we head down to number 3, keeping those sheep on that fence will give you the best time, keeping a nice straight motion. So if you want to know some of the difference between something being scored, it is a judgment call on the judges, but what it is really the flow of the livestock. So it should compare to a time and points in that the best flow and the straightest line is going to have the best time and would also have the best score. Time and points can be tricky because there's very few rules, so you really have to listen at the handlers' meetings of when you can move, when you can't, how to attempt the obstacles. So it's very important to attend the handlers' meeting to make sure that you're doing exactly what's needed. Sometimes they have the open level class, like they would have to do every animal through every panel. Others, it's just the pen and the number 5 and number 6. All right, he's got them looking at that hole. They've entered. They've now exited, and he's now pointed on 3, heading to 4. All right. So I can actually see the run running, and I'm actually looking at the screen, so I can see both things that you see. Okay, we have 5 on this. This is the sheep Futurity round 2 that we're working on here. All right, we got to get them all looking down the panel. She's got them nicely settled. Need this last one to step in. They're all pinned. Now she needs to open the gate. All 5 need to come out that gate. And then she needs to close the gate. That is when time stops. 429. Good job, camera. They're matching. I guess that's the fourth timer.
Nice job, Amy and Henry. That's full points at 270 and a time of 429. And the last run, I messed up on your clock out there. So if anybody's wondering, we have a time. Up next, we got Jeannie Biggers and slash J T-Bird. And then Rebecca Gibson and slash J Rye. Then we'll have Linda Franklin and 50.
All right. Jeannie Biggers and slash JB Bird is coming into the ring. She is also a board of directors. She's one that takes entries, does most of the computer work, tabulates all the points, and has the computer program that runs MSSA and has been here since the beginning. This is a 1.5-year-old border collie. Thank you. She's been to every MSSA, so 10 before, so this is her 11th. She drove 450 miles one way. 21 to the fetch panel. Now we're moving to 2. Things she likes about Afton is the community and the scenery. And her favorite thing about past finals is placing second in the Open Ultimate. What is the fondest memories? Doing real work, and they save me. All right, we had somebody leave. They're going to do a rerun on that. They weren't pushed. There was nothing really. They just jumped. So we've had a couple jump, and they've been trying to discourage them from doing that. It's amazing how athletic these are wool sheep, Romneys. They're used to being in big mobs. They're only getting worked about once each day, the most twice on our busiest day. They've got hay in the back, and every once in a while they scan over there. There's a hay bale back there, and they're standing on top of it. Sheep.
James Butler and slash J Hayes.
All right, Rebecca Gibson and slash VJ Rye, and T-Bird and Jeannie will get a rerun when they get a chance here to come back in. All right, the dog's on the way. 16 is the first panel time. Rebecca comes to us from Stanfield, North Carolina. And this is a 1.5-year-old border collie. All right, she's heading to number 2 or 3. Sorry. I was marking off the number 2 that she completed it. All right, she traveled, this is her first MSSA finals, and she traveled 2,234 miles. Since she hasn't been here, she doesn't know what to expect. What is her fondest memory working her dog is winning the Canadian National. Something else that she'd like to mention is that Zeb is the 2025 Purina Nursery Dog of the Year and is the 2025 USBCH Canadian Nursery Champion. Okay, she's completed number 3, heading to 4. She's completed number 4, heading to 5, which is the pin. All right.
Come. Stand. Walk. Stand.
3:09 is the official time.
Watch your dog.
All right, the next dog in the ring is Linda Franklin and 50.
That was a full score of 270 and a time of 309. Up next, we got Linda Franklin and 50. Then James Butler and /J Hayes. Going back up to number 12, Cindy Good and Cash.
All right, this is Linda Franklin and 50. She's going to turn around and reattempt that number 1. She had one miss. And the dog's a little bit tight. So we got to get the sheep settled. And
Warning. That's a warning. You can go on.
so she's checking if she got a warning. Okay, so she's working on number 1 here. Since the draw is at both ends, if the sheep get a little frisky and the dog can't get quite all the way to their head, it gets them running a little too far. There, she's got them more settled. Go by is a clockwise as time goes by. She's saying go again. Dog goes clockwise, nice and square flanks. And the sheep are much more settled, got their heads turned, needs maybe a little more. A little late on that almost. There, she got it. Go. I think that one might sneak around. Now away to me is the counterclockwise. And so she came in and they missed again. Oh, don't go in there, sheep. Come on out. That's later, not now. All right, we have a total of 27 dogs in this class. This is the Futurity round 2. She got all head. 228 is her tiebreaker. Heading to number 2 now. All 5 through number 2. She's got a nice handle on them now. And now she's through number 3, heading to 4. She's got one that missed. Once they turn the stock back, they go to 0 on 4. Right, a little tight, so he's not going to quite get them turned in time. It's hard if you're right at the panel going through it to get them turned. The dog really has to be wide. They're going to get nice. She told him to get off this time, and that helped. That's all right. She's through number 4, heading to 5. All right. She timed out. Nicely done once she got them settled. Next dog in the ring is James Butler and Slash J. Hayes. All right, this is James Butler and Slash J Hayes. They come from Center, Texas. 17 on the number one fetch panel for the tiebreaker. Hayes is a 2-year-old border collie that he owns. He's working on number 2. Nicely done through 2 and now 3. Now he's heading to 4 and he's done 4. Now he's heading to 5. Some had asked why some people use whistles instead of voice. Whistles are a little clearer and emotional. Nice pen. Got a nice run going. But to get good at it, 2:01 is the official time. Some say you have to learn to do Yankee Doodle Dandy and be proficient at that. All right, the next dog in the ring is Cindy Good and Cash.
Nice job, James Hayes. That score 270 and a time of 2:04. Up next, we got Cindy Good and Cash, and then Jeannie Biggers and Slash J T-Bird, and Dan Pant and MSD Stetson.
All right, the dog's off on its outrun, heading to number 1 or the stock. Might need to turn him a little bit. She's flanking her dog over here to get him stopped. Okay, she's using voice commands, away to me. Now they came to this side. And she just kept flanking all the way around, getting him back up to that number 1. The next dog coming into the ring will be Jeannie Biggers and Slash JB Bird. Okay, so now Cash needs to get him turned, going back into number 1. Still is a miss. 209 on the fetch panel. All right, she's heading to number 3. She's gotten through number 2, got the sheep a little settled to her dog. So now they've entered. Now they've exited, so she's got points on number 3, heading to 4. They're all lined up. There's number 5. Now she's heading to the pen. They're looking at it. Oh, you little. There, she got them tucked back in. That wing might help her get them tucked in. All right. Now she has the pin. Now she needs to come down here and open the gate. So she needs to open this gate, let the sheep out the gate. She cannot walk in there, only the dog can. Now she needs to get the gate closed, and that's when the time will stop. 4:42 is the official time. All right, the next dog that'll be coming in is Jeannie Biggers
Thank you, Cindy.
and
We
slash
have
JT Bird.
We have Jeannie Biggers and slash JT Bird.
All right, this is Jeannie Biggers and slash JT Bird. She had one of her sheep decide to leave and it wasn't caused by the dog, so we're starting over. She comes to us from Ontario, Oregon, and she's definitely one of the main movers and shakers of MSSA. All right, 24 is her first panel. Those sheep are looking at the repin gate, so the dog has to convince them to get them turned around and go to that panel. She can walk over there. All right, they skimmed it. She's going to bring those sheep back. So if you were watching yesterday, I had talked about like a V inside that panel. Well, now it's more like an alleyway, so the sheep can see through that panel. All right, she's getting one to look at it. There. Got one backing up. Oh, she turned around. Good job. They've entered. They've exited. Points on 2. All right, the dog that will follow this dog is number 21, Dan Kant and MSD Stetson. And this is Jeannie Biggers and / JT Bird. All right, they've entered 3. They've now exited 3. It has points on 3. Now heading to 4. Get them tucked in. That's 4, heading to the pen. Nicely done. She's got the pen. And when the gate closes, 3:43 is the time with full points of 270. So the next dog that'll be coming in the ring, Dan Kant and MSD
Nice job,
Stetson.
Jeannie and T-Bird. Got full score of 270 and a time of 3:43. Up next, we got Dan Kant and MSD Stetson. Then we'll have Sarah Venegas and CT and Molly May. Then Amy Nelson and HR Byrne. And then Sarah again with Copper.
All right. Dan Kant and SMD Stetson is coming into the ring from Cisco, Texas. This is a 2-year-old Border Collie. His accomplishments is SWCDA Futurity Cattle Champion. So he's out on his outrun. Now he's trying to get him lined up. Heading to number 1. 26. And number 1 is complete. All right, heading to number 2. He's got them all heading down there, all in. Now they've exited, so he's gotten the points. That would be 45 points, even though I've been saying 5, as in 5 head. They have entered. They have now exited and has his points on 3. Heading to number 4. He's got a nice time going. .201 is the fastest time that we have. So he's trying to get them turned around so that the sheep will come towards us. Again, this is the Futurity class. This class, you nominate the dog before you trial. He's using traditional commands, away. That's counterclossic. And then go by or come by is a clockwise around the sheep. So think of the sheep as the center. This is Dan's second year. He drove 1,274 miles to get here. What he likes about Afton is the scenery and visiting old and new friends. And the finals, he likes the livestock. And his memories is just watching the dogs excel. All right, so when those sheep pop out before he's got the gate open, he's got to get them back in there.
Come by, stand. Away, stand. Come by, there. Come by. Down. Come by. Walk, here. Come by, there.
All right, he's got the pen.
Walk, away, come by, walk here, away, there.
Now when the gate shuts, 3:43 is the official time. Producer's doing good at catching the right time. All right, we're going to go up to number 5.
Stetson. Up next, we're going to go with Sarah Venegas and C.P. Molly May. Then Amy Nelson and H.R. Byrne. And then Sarah again with Copper.
All right. In the ring is number 5, Sarah Venegas and C.T. Molly May. Following her is 23, Amy Nelson and H.R. Byrne. They come to us from Haines, Oregon. And this is a 2-year-old border collie. He's out on his outrun, getting him turned and lifting to and fetching to the first panel. Nice correction there. 15 to the first. This is her 4th MSSA finals. She traveled 500 miles to get here. What she likes about Afton is friends at the finals. What she likes about the finals is playing with kids and making new friends while mom showed her dogs. What's the fondest memory of working dogs? Getting to use him to put the cattle that escaped from one pasture back into the right pasture. He did it really well. Anything else you'd like to mention? I'm Levi. I'm 12 years old. This is my first finals competing in novice. I must have done the wrong. I did her son, I believe. And it looks like a husband. But I did like reading it. I didn't get to read that one before, so that was kind of fun. So what she likes is the favorite thing I like, and is the slushies at the liquor store. What's the favorite pastime? Is always love the handler's dinner. So watch it. Fondest memory of working your dogs is taking my dogs out onto the ranch and moving hundreds of cattle with just me and them. And anything else you'd like to mention? SLV Pote was the 2025 MSSA Intermediate National Cattle Champion. All my dogs that I'm trialing are also used on the ranch and in the feedlot. All right, we're through number 2. We're heading to number 3. All right, she's got them entering. They've all exited. Number 3, heading to number 4. Here they go, right through 4, heading to the pen.
Down. Up.
All right, they're all looking at the pen. She's got them walked in. Got to hold your dog there because the other classes we've been taking them around to go to the repen. Walk them up. Get the gate closed. 3:05 is the official time. 3:05. Full points of 270.
Nice job, Sarah and Holly Mae. Up next, we're going to have Amy Nelson and H.R. Byrne. And then Sarah and Copper. And then we'll have number 33, Shane Ellenwood and Rusty Gibb.
All right, coming into the ring is Amy Nelson and H.R. Byrne. They come to us from Mountain Grove, Missouri. Byrne is a 2-year-old Border Collie. This is her second year at the MSSA finals, and she traveled 1,317 miles to get here, and she loves everything about Afton in the finals. "15 on the fetch panel. Okay, we're working on this number 2. Now 1 went in there, so it made the group dirty, but they'd all exited. So now they turned around. Entry is nice, and the exit, they get points on number 2. So the instinct of the dog is to fetch, so occasionally they decide, well, we'll bring him back instead of taking him away. This is a little more of a rough coat, a little more of a medium-eyed dog. So each of these style of dogs, these are all Border Collies, bred for open areas. In the Scottish Highlands, how they were developed. Okay, they've entered. Now they've exited 3, and she has her points. Heading to number 4. So a little bit of an overflank, so she's going to have to get him back, and he's kicking out nice and wide, so they should turn. This is always hard when they go through the opening the incorrect way. So he's got to kick out wide and stop. Nice. Looks like she's got it. 5 on 4. Now she's coming to the pin. 2:01 is the fastest time we've had. All right, she has the pin. Now we're moving she needs to open this gate. They come out the gate. She can help here, but cannot go in. Come back here. Come back here. All right, she's got to get her gate shut. Oh. 2:50 is the official time. Is the official time.
That was really nice. Amy and Vern up next. We got Sarah and Copper. Then Shane and Kit. And then number 27 on Entra and HR June.
All right, we have Sarah Venegas and Copper coming in a few minutes. All right, coming in the ring is Sarah Venegas and Copper. They come to us from Hayes, Oregon. Copper is a 2-year-old border collie. This is a Futurity class, so they're all going to be in that age. This is her 4th in MSSA. Okay, the dog is off and away. The sheep are coming straight up the center nicely. 10 is that's the fastest of the day. The sheep were walking right to it and helping her out. All week, I guess. All right. So that was 10 to the fetch panels, and that was the fastest tiebreaker time we've seen. All right. She traveled 500 miles to get here. Ah, she's the one. Her favorite thing about Afton is the slushies at the liquor store. And the silly thing is it's drive up. That's unheard of in my world. Her favorite part of the finals is the handler's dinner. And the fondest memories is taking my dogs out into the ranch and moving hundreds of cattle with just me and them. All right, she just exited number 2. We've had her a couple times, so she's had some nice runs. So she's on to number 3 here. All right, she's nicely going up to the panel there. Okay, this dog has a lot of eye, so it does a nice job disconnecting, but you can see that one sheep is just not sure about the way that dog is connecting with them. So kind of wanting to stop it. All right, they have exited number 3, heading to number 4. They've decided to march. Oh, little flank. Well, that was sneaky of you guys. You were walking right at it. Looked like the dog was going nice and straight. There we go. 5 on 4, heading to the pen. So when we have all these people out of order, we have one more person helping us. We have a young girl that's being our gatekeeper, keeping us in line, letting us know. So she actually gets breakfast for a minute. All right, they're holding the stock here. I'm telling you, it takes a whole village. There's about 15 people making it happen at each of these rings. All right. 3:34 is the official time. 3:34. Full points of 270. We are now going to go to 33, which is Shane Ellenwood and S.E. Gibbs, followed by Ron Inzeroth and H.R. June, number 27. All right, in the ring is Shane Ellenwood and S.E. Gibbs. They come to us from Banner, Wyoming, and this is a 1.5-year-old Border Collie. This is his 4th MSSA trial. He's calling for his stock. He traveled 520 miles to get here. And he likes the atmosphere and scenery of Afton. And he likes the competition and socializing of the finals. And his fondest memories is enjoying them learn and get better with each work. All right, he's got to get them turned around. .58 is her fetch time tiebreaker through the first panel. Heading to number 2. Now we're working on this challenging. She's got somebody that need to get march in the right direction, looking down that hole. All 5 went in, all 5 came out. Gets points on that. Number 2 heading to 3. And keeping them tucked in. They keep wanting to run back to where they came out. They entered 3 and coming out, heading to 4 now. Getting them tucked back in. They're a little strung out there. Nicely. All right. That's number 4. We're heading to number 5. So this is the pen. Getting them all tucked in here. Nice wide flank by the dog. There is a few other breeds here. There's some Kelpies, 1 Australian Shepherd. And he needs to get them out. The gate closed. Oh no, away, away. Where's your dog? You need to talk to your dog. So now he needs to shut this gate and he needs to reload. And I didn't hear him talking to his dog at all. So you can't leave the gate open to reload. All right. 3:34. Still a very nice time, but that was a heartbreaker. We are now going to Ron Inzeroth and HR June.
Nice job, Shane and Gibb. Up next, we're going to have Ron and HR June. Then Ray Temple and GFP Panda. Then number 35, Dennis Bisnet and Amy Ella.
All right, coming to the ring is Ron Inzeroth and HR June. They come to us from Dublin, Texas. Dog is off and away. This is his first year at the MSSA finals, and he likes to work all stock: cattle, sheep, goats, and ducks. He's on the way to the first. And 15 to the first panel. And we had that crazy 10 on the first panel. The sheep were just helping it out. It was the fastest we've had. All right, he's heading to number 2. He completed panel number 2. All right, he's all the way through number 4, heading to the pen. The next handler that will be coming into the ring is Ray Temple and GFB Panda. And his dog's in the ring is June, doing a nice job holding him from exiting. Well, that's our new leader. Nicely done.
Up next, we're going to have Ray Temple and GFB Panda, followed by Dennis Bisnet and Amy Ella. And then we'll have Shirley Scholl and ER Buck. Over there.
All right, the dog is off and away. This is Ray Temple. And this is 12. We're definitely having faster times on the fetches. We're heading to 2.
Nice.
He's got them nicely set up over there. Needs to get their heads turned and looking at them. This is the Futurity class, so these dogs are nominated before they even trial. So this is a 2-year-old dog. They'll all be young dogs that they've nominated. This is his 6th MSSA finals, and he traveled 1,340 miles to get here. That must be round trip because he's in Lexington, Oregon. All right, he's on his way to 4. And now he's on to 5. Or did he make 4? Yep, he's on the pin. It's going fast. If I blink, I miss it. Okay, there's 5 on the pin. Now he needs to open this gate and get it closed. And the sheep need to exit the gate, not. Got to talk to that dog. Stay behind that sheep. There we go. Get the gate closed. 158 is the official time.
Good job,
The
Ray.
full score 270.
And a time of 158.
All right, we are now going to go to dog number 35, Dennis Bisnet and DB Ella.
Dennis Bisnet and DB Ella. Shirley Scholl and PDR Mo. And then Ray Temple and Little Girl.
All right, this is Dennis Bisnet and DB Ella. They're heading to that first panel in the tiebreaker. 12. These are trying to catch up with that 10. All right, now he's heading to the number 2. Dennis, this is his 8th MSS finals. He came 806 miles. He came from Wilton, California. What he likes in the past finals is the people, and that's what he likes about Afton. His best memory is getting a check. All right. And the numbers are on the right there.
Here to me. Here, Ellie. by. Lay down. Away. Lay down. Come by. Lay down. Away. There. Away. Away. Lay down.
All right, the next dog that'll be coming into the ring will be Shirley Scholes and PDR Bo. Dennis and Ella are here at the pen. He's got to tuck these other two in, or three. Now I have to put my coat back on. It's getting colder here. We are in Afton, Wyoming at the Mountain States Finals. It's the last day. It's day 6. He's got them in the pen. These are the Futurity dogs. They need to be nominated. Once they're nominated, then they can trial, but before the nomination, they cannot have trialed in any type of event. Then they can trial and earn points. 3:02 is the official time, which matches our producer. Good job.
Up next, we're going to have Shirley Scholes, followed by Ray Temple's Little Girl, and then Wayne Lila.
All right, the dog is away. This is Shirley Scholes and PDR Bo. They come to us from Richland, Oregon. This is a 1.5-year Border Collie. She needs to get him turned to catch that first panel. This is her 5th MSSA finals. She came 528 miles. The thing she likes about Afton is the scenery. 37 on the fetch panels and the first panel. And just a reminder that fetch time is the tiebreaker. So if they have the same score and the same time, that will that will break that tie. Favorite thing at past finals is the auction dinner. What is the fondest memories of working your dog? Teaching my son how to work him. Anything else you would like to mention? We greatly appreciate our dog family supporting us throughout this last year and helping us rebuild after a tragic fire took several of our beloved dogs. It's great. She's done really well at this Nationals. Running her 2 dogs. All right, coming through 4. Coming to the pen. And she's utilizing the dog's fetch by being in a fetch position to help see if this dog could just, and also to try to pull the sheep in. Sometimes that works. Now she's coming up and holding aside. Worked very well for her yesterday. Come by is clockwise around the clock, if you around the sheep, so the sheep are the center of the clock. He's nice and wide. And that is the pen. She needs to open the gate. Now we have the wind again. That's been the fun thing in Wyoming here. Time stops when she closes her gate. 2:54. 2:54 is the official time.
For the info, that's the full score 270 and a time of 2:54. We'll have Ray Temple and Little Girl followed by Dwayne Hayes and Lila, and then Barney next.
All right, Ray Temple and GFB Little Girl is next. And Dwayne Hayes and Evans Lila is following that. All right, wind. All right, this is Ray Temple coming in the ring with GFB Lil Girl. He comes to us from Lexington, Oregon. And this is a 2-year-old Border Collie, and he was just in, so he's trialing multiple dogs. So the dog's away, that's the outrun. Now we want the lift, aiming for the number 1, and now this is the fetch. 13 to the first panel. Now he's heading to number 2. He's getting them grouped up. All right, he's on to 3. He needs to get them tucked back in. One went the wrong way. He needs to come all the way out. He's past the mark that you see up on the wall. The other day I was talking about that piling being up there. I guess the judge was making sure the handlers knew where the clear line is. And he's through 4, heading to 5. Now he's putting him in the pen here, slowing him down. They see the hole. All right, this is a little early for the wind to start. It could stop any time. Right, he's got the pen. Now he's got to get him exiting. .143 is the official time.
Good job, Ray Temple and Little Girl. That's a full score 270 and a time of 143.
And that is the fastest time now. All right. Dwayne Hayes and Evans Lila is coming in. She's a 2-year-old Border Collie. And the dog is away. This is second year here. He likes the dog trial. He likes working cattle. Needs to hit this fetch panel. Nice, he got him turned. 20 through that first panel. Now he's heading to number 2. This is the second round of the Futurity dogs. They need to be nominated before they have ever trialed. Once they've been nominated, and they can then trial and compete. And then they're eligible for this class. Several of these handlers have multiple dogs in this fraternity. Oh, don't come out. Don't go around. All right, he's going to bring him back. So his score goes back to 0. Set it up again. His handler's line is that orange flag about where the sheep are, the first sheep. And they can come all the way across here. They have this whole section that they can go back and forth to help influence that dog. Some have gone behind the sheep and had the dog hold, which is what he got into there. And so they entered. They haven't exited yet, so it is not complete till they have exited. There you go. He's working to tuck him in. So there's 5 on the pin here. Time closes when the gate closes. 4:14 is the time.
Lila, the full score 270 and a 10 414. If you're setting a question, they are going to hold off on doing juniors until we're done with the upper and lower, or upper and sheep arena, lower and sheep arena for Pete's sake. Holly. Up next is Steve Clark and Maggie, followed by Derek Westover and 10, and then Brian Jacobs and Chris. Right. They're not going to start it before big point. Yeah, the point we get to get across here.
All right. right, coming into the ring is Dean Clark and T.G. Maggie. They're number 19 on the list. Come from Abilene, Texas. She is a 2-year-old border collie, female. So he sent his dog as soon as they opened the gate, so they started the time. Okay, he's working to get back to this fetch panel. This is his third MSSA. .32 is his fetch panel. All right, the next dog that will be coming in is 31, Derek Westover and Tan. This dog is Dean Clark and D.G. Maggie. They're doing a nice job. They've completed number 2, heading to number 3. That number 2 panel's given a little bit of grief. All right, they have entered. They've now exited, so they have the third panel, full points. They're turning to number 4. A little bit of an overflank. Now he's going to overflank back. Getting his dog to turn him back into there. You can see some of the beautiful mountains. I've got a little cloud cover today, so it's put my coat back on. It's a little chillier. I keep hinting at a little few drops now and again. All right, he's on the pin here. He's got the pin. Now he needs to get them to exit, get his gate closed. All right. 2:45 is the official time. 2:45.
Good job, Dean and Maggie. That's a full score 270. The time is 2:45. Up next, we're gonna have Derek Westover and Tan, followed by Brian Jacobs and Rue, and then Dennis Bisnet and Thinker.
Okay. Oh, I've said it. I've said it. I've said it. I've said it. Coming into the ring is Derek Westover and Tan, followed by Brian Jacobs and Rue. All right, Derek Westover and Tan. They come from Homedale, Idaho. This is a 2-year-old border collie that's owned by Diane Deal. All right, sending his dog out and around, heading to that fetch panel. 14 to the number 1. This is his 6th MSSA finals. He traveled 401 miles to get here. His favorite thing about Afton is the finals. His past finals, he likes the competition and the camaraderie. His fondest memories of working his dog is I love every day. So he's heading to number 3. There's the entry. They haven't actually exited. There we go. Number 3 is complete. So some use whistles, some use voice. You need to be very consistent in the whistles. So they say you have to be good at Yankee Doodle Dandy, and I have not mastered it. I have a couple whistles on my dogs, but all right, he's switching sides. There we go. He's got him in the pen. Now the problem if the dog's done other trialing, they've taken him out of the pen after they got him in. So the dogs figure that out really quickly. So you really have to hold your dog, tell him to stay there.
Lie down. Lie down.
2:40 is the official time.
Good job, Derek and Tam. That's a full score of 270 and a time of 240. Up next we have Brian Jacobs and Rue, followed by Dennis Bisnet and Thinker, and then we'll have Carol Gherkin and Chiquita.
Okay. Fastest time we had is 1:14. We have Brian Jacobs and Rue are the handler that's coming into the ring. He will be followed by number 30, Dennis Bisnet and DB Thinker. All right, dog away. Brian comes to us from Alden. $19 on the first panel. This little female border collie is 2.5 years old and owned by Brent Matrioli. Mataroli. All right. Brian's been to all the MSSA finals except for 2. He traveled 786 miles to get here. Afton, he enjoys the scenery and the competitive competition. His favorite thing about finals was winning Ultimate Open and Nursery Stock Dog in the same year. Fondest memory with his dog is the first time he put my Jolene dog on stock. I knew she was very special. Oh no. Okay. Y'all gotta come back up there. We're getting close to the end. We have about 8 more dogs left. All right. He's gonna repin his stock. All right. So the next handler that will come in the ring is number 30, Dennis Bisnet and DB Thinker.
Followed by Carol Gherkin and Chiquita, and then Chandler Lomax and Smooch.
And then after Dennis is Carol Gherkin and HSD Chiquita.
On my way to 3. My cattle were super heavy, but
This is Dennis Bisnet and DB Thinker. Dog is away.
Come by. Come by. Lay down. Away. Away.
He comes to Wilton, California.
Here to me. Here to me.
Okay, he
Away.
needs to get him turned back to number 1.
Away.
This is a
Away.
2-year-old Border Collie that he owns.
Away. Lay down. Come by. Come by. Away. 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 Lay down. Here to me. Here to me. Here to me. Here to me.
Right, he's getting them tucked in. This is his 8th MSSA finals. He traveled 806 miles to get here. He enjoys the people. All right, he's going to have to turn him around again here.
Come by. Come by. Here to me. Here to me. Come by. Come by. Come by. Come by. Hey! Away! Lay down. Come by. Lay down. Away!
All right.
Come by.
Looks like he's got him.
Take him.
No, 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 no. Come by. Took the wrong flight. Come by should be clockwise. And there. 2:05 is his tie time. What that means is if there's the same score and the same time, they use that to break the time at that first panel. Our next handler will be Carol Gherkin and HSD Chiquita. Okay, step by step, it's the waltz. Half of them are going backwards. Come on, turn around. They've entered. They all have to exit before he gets the points. Oh, they're out. So he has number 2 heading to 3.
Lay down. Here to me. Away. Push him up. Push him up. Come by. Here to me. There. Away. Here. Away. Here to me. Come by. Lay down. Away. Here. Away. Lay down. Here to me. Oh, wait.
All right, got number 3 there. Now we're heading to number 4. Dog just overflanked a little the wrong way, but maybe that'll be a good thing to slow him down. Dog's not taking the away flank. Away is counterclockwise. There he goes, around the sheep. But the pressure of the fence, sometimes they just keep circling and won't do the counter back flank. We've seen this with a few of these young dogs. Not sure how to deal with that pressure of the sheep on the other side of the fence that's pulling those sheep back to it. Right, we are out of time. Nicely, John. He just got a little hung up on the fetch. All right, next will be Carol Gherkin and HSD Chiquita, followed by Chandler's Lomax and GD Smooth. All right, coming in the arena is Carol Gherkin and HSD Chiquita. She comes from Payette, Idaho, and this is a 2-year-old Border Collie that Aaron Cruz owns. She's been coming to MSSA for 7 years. Her one-way trip here was 427 miles. Her favorite thing in Afton is the Salt River Soap Works, and that you can buy a 5-pound bag of cinnamon bears at the grocery store. All right, dog is away. Her favorite thing in the past is watching the camaraderie of the handlers and the great stock work by the handlers and their dogs. 12 to the first panel. Our fastest in this class was 10. They're doing a nice job. She's heading to number 2. What is her fondest memory of working the dog? The day my dog Bo saved me from getting killed by a bull that was trying to grind me into the ground after knocking me down. The dog fought that bull until I was able to drag myself out of the pen. Anything else you'd like to mention? Although I'm running a Border Collie this year, I am the owner of KJ Ranch Working Australian Shepherds. We have line bred working Australian Shepherds for over 25 years and have been recognized as Breeder of Merit, Hall of Fame kennel, and a Stock Dog Kennel of Excellence. All right, so we're working on this number 2. And it has been a challenging all week. Whatever the different places it's been, it has been challenging. So they're looking at her a little bit. She might need to back up a little bit. Now they're on the dog. They seem to do better if the handler is behind them and the dog is out to the side. That's what most of the people. So now she's trying something different since that didn't work. Good job. So our next handler will be Chandler Lomas and Lumix and ST Smooch, followed by Diane Kant and BA Ace. She's got him moving nicely. Don't cross your line. You're right on it. There we go. The judge would give a little warning if they start wandering. All right, they're through number 2. It's a tight place to go. She got them turned and heading back to number 3. Since she had to go in there, it's a tight area for these dogs to work. So it was nice. She went out and around. All right. All right. They've entered 3. They have now exited. She's got points on 3. Okay, she took a wrong flank there, but okay, so Carol's wearing one of our shirts. This is today. We have the black shirts on. The stock handlers have shirts, and some of the people have a more dressy, actually shirt with long sleeves. Okay, so she's heading back for this number 4, and I've talked about the dog. His instinct is to bring stock to you, so when things start going awry, they tend to get them back closer to you, and then so now she's going to have to drive them off again. Okay, that is time.
Okay, and then next we're gonna have Chandler Lomax and Smooch, followed by Dan Kent and Gates, and then Gilberto and Nova.
Oh, please support all our sponsors. He's got a screen up of all of them, so I'm not naming them off and how to find them. Nutrena is a big supporter. We thank them. We could not do these events without the sponsors to help fund it. The town even supports the MSSA because it brings a lot into the town. We've been eating dinner out, been hanging out at the drive-through liquor store, going to the grocery store and getting goodies, going to the farm store because I'm sure we've forgotten something. All right, coming into the ring is Chandler Lomax and G.D. Smooch. Following him is Dan Kent and B.A. Ace. He comes from Rocky Face, Georgia. This is a 3-year-old border collie. Dog's on the way and the sheep are out. This is his first nationals finals, and he drove 1,800 miles to get here. So it's great they have these books, and it's great if the handlers fill it out. 15 on the fetch. Now we're moving to number 2. If you're interested in MSSA, it doesn't have to just be a border collie. Other breeds do participate. There's one Aussie, 1 or 2 Kelpies. They said there might even be some hanging tree dogs here, but I'm not sure. I haven't been up at cattle enough. I've been only down here in sheep. So we've only had Australian Shepherd and Border Collies down here in the sheep arena. There's trials all over the United States and Canada, so you could take a look at the events that are coming up. Okay, so he's got 3 through, but now they've mixed and he's resetting it up. So that's a 0 on that panel. So now he's restarting to go up that panel. Now he's moving over to get in behind those sheep. So the rules are also up on the website. It's just a few pages long. And then you really want to go to the handlers meeting of any of the events you go to, because there could be facility rules and how they want the courses run. So some of the things that are different, you cannot run in MSSA. So the judge would yell, "Don't run," if you started hurrying to rush around. And this morning, it's a little slippery, so we almost had somebody fall. The dogs run without any collars, and that's one, so the dog doesn't get injured. If something happens, get hung up on something, on the stock or anything, or that they're weighting their collars with training aids. So then you also cannot use a herding crook because they think that's a training aid and helping your dog. So now he's got to get them turned around. They've entered, but they have not exited. So now he has points on number 2. So this is the 11th year for the MSSA finals, and they were here 9 years in Afton. The cattle are brought in by the White family, so you've seen several of them over this week, 2 sons and a daughter trialing. The sheep are Rambouillet wool sheep that are used to being in large flocks. So they've calmed down quite nicely from the first day that they were worked. So he's working his way over to number 3. All right, so now he's on to number 4. Okay, he's got to get them turned or they're going to come down this fence. So he's telling him away, which is a counterclockwise around the sheep. The way the dog is going is correct. Now he got all 5 through 4. Now he's doing this pen. Nice, he's got him in the pen. Now number 6 is the sheep need to exit out the gate he's opening. And the time stops when he closes it. Which is it? 448. All right, next is number 34, Dan Kant and B.A. Ace.
Up next we have Dan Kant and Ace, followed by Gilbert Development, Nova, and then Daphne Amato and Ida.
They'll be followed by Gilberto and Nova. And then Daphne Amato and /J Ida. All right, Dan Kent has called for a sheep, and B.A. Ace, he's on his way. This is a 2-year-old border collie. Come from Cisco, Texas. 17. He kind of he had a fast coming up the front, but it started when that last sheep came out. So if you're wondering why, because they came at a pretty good clip, but the time started when that last sheep, and then he sent his dog. He came 1,274 miles. This is his second year. His favorite thing about Afton is the scenery and visiting old and new friends. What he liked about past finals is the good stock. His fondest memory is just watching the dogs excel. Okay, he's walking to number 3. I'll give you some of the fun facts that they have in the catalog. There is 53 handlers that this is their first MSSA. Welcome to us. 155,253 miles is the miles that was traveled to get here. 24 U.S. states and 3 Canadian provinces are represented. This one's fun. In the 6 years that they have been running sheep, there's been 2,040 sheep here. The handlers prefer females. I haven't been saying that, but that was part of their profile. And they prefer slick and smooth-coated dogs. And the cattle, there was 3,180 head of cattle over the 11 years that they've been doing MSSA. The town of Afton is a great place. It's in Afton, Wyoming. It's a gateway to Jackson Hole, to the Grand Tetons, and Yellowstone Park. Here in Afton, we're at 6,240 feet. They've opened up and have wonderful restaurants, and 2:38 is the official time.
Good job, Dan and Ace. It's a full score 270 and a time of 2:38. Up next is Gilberto and Nova. It's been a long week. The number 38, Daphne Amato and Ida, and then Brian Jacobs and Kuna.
Right? Maybe my brain too. That'd be helpful. All right.
All right, coming in the ring is Gilberto, Valmont, and Nova. Following him will be Daphne Amato and /J Ida. He's from Gilberto is from Hanford, California, and Nova is a 2-year-old female border collie. This is his 4th year at MSSA. What was the time? 21. It's the time to the first panel and the tiebreaker. So he's heading over to number 2. He likes to work cattle, sheep, and goats. To travel here was 1,000 miles. What he likes about Afton is the weather. And what was his favorite thing in the past was the goat roping. I haven't seen any goat roping. All right, we're down to our last 2 dogs. So he's patiently working this panel. Okay, it's very hard to go from V's to A's in this big binder. But they bought good ones, so that's good.
I know. I always think that.
Push. Here. Stand. Stop. Stand. Walk up. Stop. Walk up.
They always tell me.
Here. Stand. Stop. Stand. Here. Stand. Walk. Walk. Walk.
I get up and I was remote. But we still
Come on. Stand. Stand. Here. Stand.
I have my grandparents' first radio they ever had. They didn't get power. They lost it. It's kind of like
Walk
my
up.
family started out on the ranch. So I have their phone.
Walk up.
1936.
Come on. Push. Come on. Push. Push. Push.
All right. He's got to exit this panel to complete it. Some of our sponsors, Nutrena, they have sponsored all these rings and are a big contributor and have been on the mic with me and occasionally told us about some of their food. So check out their dog food or their other products. Afton Tourism, they donated jackets for the 10,000 point winners. The Country Vet Natural Pet Store or Pet Food, they donated all our, I think I did that backwards, all our shirts that they gave each of the competitors. There's Got Dog, Coal Creek Stock Dogs, Mill Iron S Ranch, Advance Plus Federal Credit Union, HR Stock Dogs, Flying Fins Border Collie, and we're out of time going up to number 4. The next dog in the ring will be Daphne Amatos and
Right,
Slash J Ida.
Amato and Ida, and then Brian Jacobs and Kuna will take us out of this class.
And then continuing on, Phil and Kelly Fonkelsroot and Johnson Grain and Rising W Kelpies, Hacienda Angus, JB Waterwell, Red Baron Drive-In, Wyoming Traders, Diana Barnes, Alan Fortman, Harris Stock Dogs, Gallopin Paws Ranch, Meek Heavy Duty Sales, Windmill Stock Dogs, Rock Creek Stock Dogs, Creeper Border Collies, Alpine Animal Hospital, WorkingStockDogs.com, Great Canine Minerals, D&D Mini Ranch, Tegler Oil Services, Pride and Joy Dairy, Curtis Munden, Marge Vincent, and More Enterprises Incorporated. Thank you, all of you, for all your support. These events can't happen without them. This is Daphne Amato and /J Ida calling for her stock, and her dog is away. They come to us from Oroveda, Nevada. This is a 2.5-year-old border collie. All right, this is Daphne's 4th MSSA. She's traveled here 600 miles. Her favorite thing about Afton is the MSSA Stock Dog Finals. Her favorite thing from past years is all the friends I have made there. Her fondest memories of working her dog is training Ace, my favorite border collie. Anything else she'd like to add? This is my first year trialing stock dogs and my first time at finals as a participant with my new dog named Ida. We have a lot to learn, but are very excited and happy to be able to join in the fun of the finals. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I got it.
Are you? All right. Of course, the wind picks up and everything starts blowing, so that's the uh-oh. She was a 21 on the fetch panel, working on the number 2. So our final dog of the day will be Brian Jacobs and 208 Kuna. Again, this is the Futurity class. This is the final run. They run just 2 rounds. Naughty bits. Oh, stop. Okay. Dog needs to get closer to the fence. Talked about the draw. The stock that are in the holding pens behind that fence is like a magnet to these sheep, and they're a magnet, and it's just being sucked together. And the dog needs to be on that fence. It's about 3 feet off the fence, so it's not giving the sheep the understanding they should be off. So if the dog can't go there, she needs to come over here. This is a very, very, these are young dogs. These sheep are a little tricky because they're range sheep. These are Romneys. These are wool sheep, and a lot of times the trials have hair sheep because a lot of areas of the country they do better as training or trialing sheep. So the junior event is waiting for, up in the cattle arena is waiting for us to get done. So everybody will be done when those kids are running and we can all go up there and watch. The first time I came to MSSA, I thought that the commentaries would be heard by us, and I was like, oh, all we hear is the announcing, and I'm actually sitting next to the announcer, so you're hearing the announcing that the competitors hear. And so I would go and I would turn on my phone and do some live feed so I could watch. And for some reason this year I have terrible reception, so I can barely keep my phone alive. So that was something that I thought was very different when I came here. Okay, she's out of time.
All right, up next we'll have Brian Jacobs and Kuna, and that will take us out of our Futurity.
This will be our final dog, Brian Jacobs and 208 Kuna. This is one of our main handlers that trials dogs from other locations. Whoa, 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 we just got the dust of a windstorm. All right, coming into the arena is Brian Jacobs and 208 Kuna. And she is a 2-year-old border collie, and she is owned by Josh Harris. Her accomplishments is winning both days of the overall buckle winner at the David Briggs December trial. The dog is on its way. Brian's been to be all but 2 of the MSS finals. 15 to the first. Now he's moving to the second.
Hey, Dan, in here with Kuna. Kuna, away, there, walk. Kuna, away, there, walk. Away, there, walk. Walk out. Away, there, Dan. Walk, walk. Dan, come, Dan. Walk.
All right, he's got a nice run going here onto the pin. Needs to get that last one to turn around. Hold him. Open the gate. Out you go, you guys.
Brian, you can just leave him in the arena, Brian.
2:32 is the official time. All right, we are all done. Thank you very much. That's the end of the broadcast down in the sheep arena.